In May 2005, Microsoft unveiled the Xbox 360 on MTV. They managed to get the system out a year earlier than Sony with their PlayStation 3 and Nintendo with the Wii, and it went on to be, at this time, Microsoft's most successful system when it comes to number of consoles sold anyway. And now looking at it 19 years later, it's actually shutting down. That being the Xbox 360 digital storefront. Actually, in July, at the end of July, Microsoft will officially cut it off. At that point, it will be completely legacy, that being the Xbox 360. And I figured what we'll do today is sort of get a snapshot in time and just kind of go through the digital storefront on an actual Xbox 360 console as it exists today, because once it's gone, well, we're not really going to see it at all anymore to have this opportunity. And yes, that's really what we're going to do. Spend some time, just kind of relax and see what exactly this storefront looks like in its final days before Microsoft shuts it down. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Okay, so here we are over on the Xbox 360 Elite. And it is funny to think about how many times the dashboard has changed, and this is pretty much the endpoint for the Xbox 360. This is the last dashboard that they decided to come out with. But thinking back to the Blade system all the way up to now, with all the little pit stops along the way with like what NXE and some of the other dashboard revisions they did, I guess technically if you look at this one, it is the most complete in terms of features. Something about that Blade system though, with just how quick and responsive it was. And I also think it looked more like a video game system dashboard, if that makes sense. As about this just looks maybe a little too Windows 10 or Windows 7, Windows 11, something like that. Like one of those, right, where it doesn't feel as much like you're turning on and looking at a video game console. Anyway, that aside, we do want to look at, so I made a little avatar for this. Unfortunately, the avatar store, you do need to have an Xbox Live account. I just made this like dummy account here on the Xbox 360 just so I can then go on to the store to check it out. You did have an avatar store, though, where they would basically sell you pieces of clothing for your Xbox avatar here. And what was really cool is in some games, you would do achievements and you would end up unlocking clothes for your avatar. That was really cool. You'd unlock clothes, accessories, and you'd unlock gamer pictures, all of which they ended up just selling on the store. So they had kind of that micro transaction setup attached to the system itself, like when you used it. Then of course you could see your friends on there, and that would show you what they were wearing and where they get that from and how they get this gamer pick. It all sort of spiraled out of control to where, yes, Microsoft was selling $1 to $2 virtual hats for your character. Anyway, they did work to try to spread some of this out. So we have games, movies, and TV. There are apps, which, let's see, browse apps. What do they have on here? They actually had quite a bit. I don't remember this many apps on, Daily Motion's on there. There's TMZ, Vimeo. I don't remember this many apps being on here, although I guess I didn't necessarily dive as much into the, hey, my game system is also a multimedia device as, I guess, recently, where we had the rise of the subscription service over the last several years. Is Atari Game Over? Is that just like the movie? What is this? I guess that's what this is. Brings bonus material media achievements. Media achievements. There you go. The bizarre story of Atari. Of course, all those Atari Game Over with E.T. getting buried in the desert. Horse races. You can watch all the horse races on here. I don't think you can bet on them here, but that's a whole revenue stream on its own for Microsoft France 24. There's some strange apps on here, but they definitely had more than I thought. Wow. Okay. Anyway, going back to games. So they did work to set it up. So, all right, like in systems now, you go into the dashboard for your system, your home screen, and they've kind of worked to integrate the storefront with it, whereas here you had to pick it and it was an app that would then launch the store. So it wasn't as integrated then as it is now. And trust me, even before this dashboard, it was even less integrated. So they at least tried to work it out so it looked like it was always part of your dashboard, but eventually you would leave here and then go to the store, as we're going to see in a minute. I do like that they separated demos though, because there was a pretty big there's a pretty big focus on demos in general at this time. So now we're in like the storefront that launched basically. But they separate all this. It was really cool to be able to go in here, especially back then when a game had a demo at that time. And you're younger and games are expensive and you get so many every year or something they'd ask for a birthday or Christmas. This is a really, really big deal to get these demos to just try out this new system you got that really then looked incredible on a CRTS, but if you had like a flat screen TV, even if it was just 720p or 1080i, looked awesome. So you're going through, you're just downloading as much as your little 512 megabyte card or your little 20 gigabyte hard drive could hold then. Wow, they really did a Sleeping Dogs demo. I'm trying to figure out what this demo would even be. Okay, experience a sneak peek at the brutal martial arts combat, free running. Because Sleeping Dogs, I don't know if some of these games that are a bit more open-ended don't lend themselves well to a demo. Let me know what the full game costs now. There are a lot of sales running. It's still $19.99. There are a lot of sales running right now on the Xbox 360 store. Ridge Racer Unbounded. Look at that. How much is the full game for this one? Still 20. So no shortage, though, of release dates. Can I sort by popularity? Top downloads. What do you think the top downloaded demo is? Afro Samurai, hey. Or no, is that just... It looked like it was in, like, alphabetical order. Is that what this is? I don't know, because A to B to... Blue Dragon demo. I'm trying to think of what these demos even would be. 2 dungeons. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I'm thinking this is just in alphabetical order. Yeah, good. Taking back to a time where like everything had a demo. All Pro Football 2K8. That was a big deal. I mean, they used like obviously sports legends for football, but that was a big deal because 2K5 was the last real like full NFL game at that time before EA took over. So them being able to still use the likenesses of like a lot of the legend players was pretty cool, and it still played I think well enough. I mean, Madden had time to kind of evolve beyond what they did with 2005 then. America's Army. All right, so that's enough of the demos. Let's take a look at the full games themselves. We got advertising with Minecraft Story Mode and Forza Horizon 2. Just go to Browse Games here. There's an Avatar Store. Themes. All right, so they did try to sell... They'd have themes on here, too. And we looked at that. Well, then. Okay. Team Dazn Anime HD theme. $3. So, yes, they were selling... There's a lot of these, too. Are these all $3? I mean, they don't even show you what it is. All right. Sure. Wow, there's a lot of money. I don't know if Microsoft just stopped caring or what. I'll admit, I cannot remember, like, what the theme store looked like that much back then. I guess here it kind of shows you right there, right, with the GTR. $3. Wow. This theme store is just... Yeah, all right. Okay, there's the holiday theme. There's a sci-fi theme. These must have done well for them if they did so many. Let's see what top downloads will tell us. That's just arcade. It doesn't really do themes. I don't think Microsoft has maintained the 360 tour as much. Go figure. But gamer picks. Let's see. Okay, Rumble Roses. I think that was the last one. I don't think it's top downloaded. I don't think it separates the... Oh, no, it does. So the Phase Pick Pack V2 for MLG was the #1 gamer pick. Look at that. It was $1. There's another one right here. Oh, it was just a full $1. So one's 99 cents. The other one's an extra penny to get it. Join the FaZe clan and snipe with style. All right. That just see the full game. What's the full game? What is it? Major League Gaming. Major League Gaming is the home of competitive... I don't know what this is. Is this just all of them? There's a whole bunch of them. Look at that. I'm not sure what that is. All right. Minecraft. There are a whole bunch of gamer pictures from Minecraft. That makes sense. I understand that being pretty popular. Anime again. Call of Duty 2. That one was 25 cents. Bullies in there. Castle Crashers. I think some of them actually show you what it looks like. I don't know. That's just a picture of the game. NFL. It makes sense that like the NFL stuff would have sold well. That's for the Panthers. In what world is the Panthers picture pack the #1 most downloaded for the 360? What is going on around here? Okay. So you can see they sold themes, they sold gamer pictures, they sold avatar. We haven't even looked at the games yet. Look at everything else. All right, games, arcade. So they did separate them into 2 different sections. We had Xbox Live Arcade, and then we had On Demand. On Demand were the full games. Arcade were like the smaller games, kind of. I say kind of because I feel like some of the games in here now, looking back on it, were larger than some of the full games that were 5 or 6 hours. Some of these arcade games would last you way longer. Let's see. What are the most popular ones? Minecraft. It's really funny to think about this. Back then, Minecraft came about during the 360 era, and it was technically an arcade game, which now it's this incredible phenomenon, right? This massive property. Back then, it was just showing up. And they're like, yeah, throw it in the Xbox Live Arcade set. They're like, yeah, just throw it in the Xbox Live Arcade section. Who cares? $20, yeah. I mean, you could also have bought this physically. I remember selling this a ton in the different stores. It was never sitting on the store shelf. If it came in even on trade-in, used, it was gone so fast. I mean, it was also like used $15 or something, knew it was 20, so those were selling all the time. Pinball FX 2, Resident Evil Revelations 2, these are apparently the top downloads. Goat Simulator, Doritos Crash Course. That said Xbox One. Is this not for the 360? I guess it is. It says at the bottom. Oh, plus Xbox One. So it'll also work there. I guess it just tells you it's backwards compatible. Gotham City Imposters. I'm trying to think who made this. This is Monolith. Okay. Monolith Productions. I know WB published it, obviously. Monolith. Okay. I would like to see them bring this back. It was $15 then. I mean, it's dead now. The servers aren't up anymore. And I did a video where I checked this out like a few months ago, and the trial still works. You can get in there and do some of the setup for it, but obviously you can't go online and play it anymore. So I would not mind them doing something like that. It was very creative. Yes, it kind of was kind of hero shooter-ish. Not as much, though. It didn't really lean into it quite as much. State of Decay, that showed up, I remember, as a $20 game back then. This was really cool when this showed up, though. And it was a smaller game, yes, but it was kind of around that time where the zombie stuff started to really like get big. And now I feel like it's been overdone, but this was perfect timing for it. Like Left 4 Dead was out there, Dead Rising was going on, and I feel like this one tried to give a bit more of a realistic kind of approach to it. And whereas the other ones, like Dead Rising, you're just destroying zombies constantly. And Left 4 Dead, same kind of thing, right? With just guns everywhere. That felt more like you were just trying to survive the apocalypse. Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. Like I said, the arcade section was awesome in Xbox Live. There were so many weird things that were attempted here that just at times ended up working out really well. Like they even did like a Yu-Gi-Oh game in here. It was this Millennium Duels. Yeah, of course you'd buy starter decks. Look at that. Wow, they had this all figured out. I almost don't even want to press see all. I know this is probably a crazy list. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look, they had this going on. Look at that. They didn't even have to name something. They just named it Card Pack 008. They knew they were going to try to push for $100. Wow, $2. Ooh, okay. How much is... It doesn't say. Just a powerful card pack. Wow. Some of them they named, at least. That's amazing. How much is the game? The game's $10. You feel like you can just make that free at that point with that number of card packs. Hydro Thunder. I was taking it back. You had a lot of these like older ports come up too, where they move some of the games from 1 or 2 generations prior and just putting it in arcade. Slender Man, remember that was big for a while there. Trials HD. Yep, we had Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on here, or Sonic Adventure 2, I should say. It says plus Xbox One, so you could play it there too as well. That was cool, though, to even have that kind of thrown on there. Let's see. Far Cry Classic. Yep. Crazy Taxi. the original Call of Duty. I think this is still only on here, though. I don't think this was one that I was able to play on the Xbox One. I feel like I had to break the 360 out for that. And I do have that on my main account. I remember buying that when it hit back in the day. Let's see. Kinect, of course. Sonic Adventure 1. Sonic the Fighters. That is also on Xbox One, though. Man, there's so many weird games on here. What is this? Takedown Red Saber? I don't know what that is. It's kind of like they're trying to do like a Rainbow Six sort of thing. All right. Castlevania? Symphony of the Night. They did get Symphony of the Night on the 360 back then. Let's see. Rayman 3. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. There it is. Wow, there's a lot of stuff they sold here too. They had that figured out with the Xbox Live, the arcade stuff. There were a lot of microtransactions attached to some of these games. But I guess they figured, hey, the game's 10 or 15 bucks, whatever. Start attaching a bunch of $2 microtransactions to it. That's when they had discovered the DLC was just discovered, what, in like 06 or something with horse armor, right? And all of a sudden they were just like, oh, that's it. That's it. Just start throwing them on everything you can. Let's see. There's just a lot here. These are all the top downloads, too. We're talking like hundreds and hundreds of games. That it's funny, some of the franchises you may recognize here, this is like where they got their start. You know, a couple of these, like that State of Decay, for example. They started here, and they were able to build out from it. So this was such a moment in time. This entire section represents that moment in time that we'll probably never get back, although it has been replaced, I would say, by, you can say something better with kind of the indie scene, where it's very easy for just indie games to appear on your console. The access is incredible now. So I guess in a way, this is kind of early days for that, where you could reach Xbox Live Arcade without too much issue. But it just, I don't know, it felt extremely creative at this time compared to, I guess, compared to now with some of these game releases. It's just, again, a moment in time. So let's go back here. On demand. This was a big deal. So midway through the 360's life, people forget this, that's around when we started getting full games released digitally. It was kind of hard before that, though, because we had a 20 gigabyte hard drive on the 360. So, like, how many games were you realistically going to download and put on there? Because you didn't even get the full 20. You got, like, what, 12.8 or something? It was weird. You lost a lot of it, right? So here we just got full releases throughout. I think starting 2010, and there was like 15 games they put on there at first. Anyway, let's see what the latest release was on here. It is Dead Island Riptide. And then so the last Just Dance they put on here was Just Dance 2019. $7.99. So this is probably where we'll see some of the deals that are happening. If you're unaware, at the time of this recording for this video, there are many 360 games that are specifically locked to the 360 pretty much, that are on sale right now. Like this one is 74 cents for Dead Island Riptide on the 360. So there are a number of them, and if you're seeing this in time, I would probably take advantage of it. Let's see. These should be all the newer games that released before. Oh, Tony Pro Skater 5, there it is. Before the 360, wow, it's still $30. Before the 360 basically got just abandoned in general, and then Microsoft's again set to close this thing down. Hey, $8 Rise of Tomb Raider, that's not bad. Which is Call of Duty. $50. All right, Black Ops 3 multiplayer only, by the way, for this generation. $5 for Metal Gear Solid 5. That's not bad. See, there's some deals in here. Some deals. Original Resident Evil. $2. Let's see. Just Dance 2015. No shortage of Just Dance. I'll say that. Shadow of Mordor without the Nemesis system. How much are you? $5. Skate 3 Classic is backwards compatible. $20. Wow, that thing has held its value. These are all released. Let's go to the most popular. What do you think, before I hit this, what do you think the most popular game is recorded here? I feel like it's probably a Call of Duty, but let's see. Okay, hold on. Mirror's Edge? Really? Okay, Call of Duty World at War, sure, I get that. And Black Ops 2 and then 1. And GTA 5. That is, I would have not expected Mirror's Edge to be there. Huh. I have to go back and look. When did this come out? Because I wonder if this was when they first started doing full game delivery for digital. I wonder if this is one of the games that they pushed out there. I'm not sure. I have to go look. That would at least make some sense as to why it's there, because that seems odd. Like these, okay, you could just say these like 6 or 7 after that. Yeah, everything makes sense. Mirror's Edge is just very random. Everything else makes sense. You got your Call of Duties, you got GTA, you got Red Dead Redemption, sure. Borderlands, yep. Gears, Fable, Fallout. And then it's just like Mirror's Edge. It's very strange. Top downloads. There's Arkham City. How much are you? $5. Okay. It's such a basic like look to the store. I mean, it's not great to navigate this way. If you could change it up as like a tile system, you can search as well here, but if you could change it up so you had a full tile system, that'd be significantly better. Here's just release date, so you can look at the last one, but title, you can sort by that. It'll just give you alphabetical order across the board, which is the first Assassin's Creed. $20. Wow. Ooh. Armor Core Verdict Day. $20 as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything like weird on this store that's dark. Wow, I remember this game. It wasn't a very good game. $3 though. Okay. They also had, I mean, you can say they had a full rating system here too back then, which was it was good to have, but some stuff would just get downvoted into oblivion, even if it was like a decent game. Let me see. Deadly Premonition. Wow, that one's still $20 as well. Gallery. Man, there's really no... They really didn't have any videos on here, did they, for a lot of the different previews? Disney Infinity. Ooh, that was a whole thing when that was going on. That, I remember then Skylanders took over. Skylanders was crazy popular for a while before it just died off. That Toys to Life thing had like an incredible 5-year run. Eternal Sonata, classic game. How much is it? 15? Okay. That's not bad. Fable the Journey. Oh, 360 Connect. Had to bring that into the fold, didn't they? Oh, Fight Night. Okay. So I think Fight Night round 3 was on sale. $2, yeah. The Fight Night games back then were awesome too. Champion is good, and it's also works on the Xbox One. It's still $20, so they know it works on the Xbox One. This was a pretty good game. I think most people though, yeah, like round 3 was pretty good. But I feel like this was a good time for just Fight Night in general. Those are really fun games. Let's see. All the Gears, Ghost Recon. I miss when Ghost Recon was good. Remember Future Soldier came out? That was a big deal. I feel like we've lost it with Ghost Recon, unfortunately. That, like Medal of Honor, those are the two that those are some of the franchises I definitely miss from back in around this time. I was just playing Gun the other day on the GameCube. Wow, still $20 there too. Oh yeah, how much better does that look? I feel like it looks way better even on here. Oh, these images are kind of bad. They're kind of compressed. Halo Waypoint. They tried to do a whole app with Halo where they pulled everything together. And I feel like that did not work out. 343. Oh, they thought that was a good idea. Well, Infinite Undiscovery, another good one. That one does work on the Xbox One. $20, okay. That's a good one, I think. All the Just Dance games. Kane and Lynch 2. Kane and Lynch. All the Kinect games. Kinect Sports Season 2. I remember Kinect Sports. Man, when that Kinect hit, like Kinect Adventures and stuff, but I remember with sports, and it was like, it actually did feel, for like a moment in time, it did feel like it had kind of that hype and momentum behind it, like the Wii did when the Kinect first came out. And it died off pretty quick. Don't get me wrong. Like it didn't continue that momentum maybe like Microsoft was thinking it would, but it was kind of popular. Like if you look up the sales for that, look up the sales for that accessory. You might be a little surprised on that one. It's actually quite significant. It's not just a few. Oh, the Lego games. My gosh. Lost Odyssey. Classic. 25. Wow, that feels... All right, that one feels expensive. I'm thinking I've seen this thing on sale so many times. Lost Odyssey. I've wanted to go back and go to Lost Planet again, and people have told me that the first Lost Planet, which I think is over... Yeah, here it is, has just not aged well at all. Like, even a little bit. But this was... I think... a year after the 360 came out. It was just a very impressive game when that thing dropped. Still works on the Xbox One. Okay. Mass Effect, of course, classics. Max Payne 3 is on the Xbox One. It needs help, though. It needs, like, FPS boost or something. I know we're getting more Max Payne stuff soon, but I still can't believe that's, like, the last one we've had. It is still really, really good. Peace Walker. You could just buy the Peace Walker separately? I just have the full disc physically, the HD collection. Yeah, I guess they did separate that. Midnight Club, classic. $15. I'm almost positive there were a lot of games that were on sale, and I'm just not coming across any of them right now. Let's see. Near 99 Nights. All right, this is another one I wanted to play, but apparently this is extremely expensive on eBay. Okay. Images. All right, there we go. And I remember this was a big deal because they put like a ton of enemies on screen. 99 Nights, obviously. And that it was like, oh, let's show off the processing power of the 360. Oh, look, there's a trailer. So you can download the trailers. There's Map Pack -1. It costs -1. They'll give me $1 for this. Okay. I don't know. It'll give you $1. There you go. It's -1 for that. But you can get the E3 2010 trailer for this. This is the second one. I'm thinking of 99 Nights, the first one. That was 99 Nights 1 was very impressive when that first showed up and they were showing it off. Is there no way to, like, okay, bumper will jump you ahead. Oblivion, 15. I feel like a lot of these games are just more expensive here than on the Xbox One right now. Perfect Dark Zero is 15 for some reason. Oh, gosh, this game. The one thing I will give this game credit for is I remember my friend first got his 360 and we came home. This is the game that looked super impressive because there were reflections on the ground. So we were looking at it like, oh, this is next gen. The ground looks like it rained recently. You kind of see it there where she was, you see that on the, like there's some of the water around it, but then like the rocks and stuff look kind of shiny. It's like, this is next gen. It's never getting better than this. That's all it took back then. And Star Universe, $20. Original Prey, Prototype. Prototype. I liked Prototype back then. I feel like I liked the first one more than the second one. Maybe I just remember the first one a lot more. I liked Prototype. It was basically like, hey, you're in this world, you're in the big city, and you got these crazy looking like demonic powers and stuff, and all kinds of stuff growing out of you and make blades, and it was really cool. It was a fun game. Let's see. Red Faction Classic. We do have the remastered edition now. $1, eh? You know, it's not bad. I feel like this one was more impressive, though, on the 360 back then because of all the destruction. But Red Faction was always really good at, like, the destruction elements to it. A lot of Resident Evil. Residents of Fate. This is another one that I remember seeing, but I don't remember playing it like that. And I wouldn't mind. This was a very kind of unique RPG, sort of action RPG, kind of. I mean, you can see it has like some of the turn-based elements, but it was very cinematic, stylized. That's one I wouldn't mind going back and checking again. That was Tri-Ace and Sega. I feel like that. I gotta look see how much that one is online. I feel like that one's not bad. Table tennis, classic right here. Kids don't know about this one. This is a serious business. This is, I mean, and the funny part is Rockstar. People forget about that Rockstar San Diego made a table tennis game. But it was awesome. It was such a cool game. I remember the big thing with this was that the characters had sweat on their character models as you're playing, and it right there you see it looked next gen as well. It's weird looking back on what we defined as that next gen jump from original Xbox to 360. Stuff like that did count. That's like, okay, this is it. This is incredible stuff. Look at the visuals. Shadowrun. Let's see. Terrible Silent Hill HD collection. They did end up getting a lot of games on here. 435 in the most popular section, which is probably just all the games, really. That's not bad considering they started adding to this section halfway through the generation. Like, it's not terrible. Was SSX on the... That is on the Xbox One. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. $2. Okay. See, that's not bad either. I think I played that on the Vita. I think that's where I played that more. As weird as that sounds. Street Fighter 4, when that came out, that was a massive deal. Here's one of my favorite games back then, and it's really funny. Like, obviously, I played a lot of Halo. But Rainbow Six Vegas 2 was one of the like top-tier experiences online for me back then. This was awesome to play online. You had like the revolver. I think it was called the Raging Bull. And if you hit somebody with that, they would actually fly backwards, like with their hands and legs pointed in front of them from the impact on their chest, right? And it was one of the most satisfying kills to get in a multiplayer game was that. But this was such a cool game back then, Vegas 2. You would get experience, I remember, playing through not only like the single player, or the campaign, or playing in the multiplayer, and you were constantly adding to your collection of guns and upgrades and stuff. That was a cool game. I like that one a lot. Let's see. Test Drive Unlimited. This is the second one. Oh, still $20. Surprised like this stuff didn't get, like, none of these are delisted, and you feel like a lot of the racing games get delisted constantly. They're still here. They are. Let's Outfit, Tomb Raider, Time Shift. Ooh, it's been a while for that one. Tomb Raider Underworld. This is the one Tomb Raider game I just do not remember much at all of. Underworld? No. It said it's let's say it's Xbox One as well. It is. How much was that? $20. This is a moment where you look on eBay for some of these games just if you want to get them physically, which I have wondered if the 360 market is going to... I mean, it's already kind of been going up with some of the games. Like, I was looking up the launch lineup for the 360 somewhat recently, and I want to do like a launch lineup video. Some of those games are way more expensive than they should be. I'll say that. Way more. Virtua Fighter 5. Was never good at this game. I watched my friends play it, and that's about the extent I had for that was a lot of my fighting game experience. Mine is like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I did get a kick out of that one, but I watched a lot of people play those fighting games. Way the Samurai 3. It's still here. How much is it? $20. That is more than it should be. I was a fan of the Way of the Samurai. I couldn't believe that series went on as long as it did. So there must be other people out there who like Way of the Samurai like I do. There must be, if they made so many of them. And I think that's it. Zumba Kids. There you go. Top Trials. What's the most downloaded one? Call of Duty World at War. See, that makes sense. This makes sense. I'm really curious why Mirror's Edge is #1. That is so interesting. I don't know. Not sure. Featured themes. Forza Horizon 2. Is that still here? I feel like this game's delisted, isn't it? The demo's still here. I'm pretty sure this game is gone. I don't even know if you can... I mean, I wouldn't be able to anyway because I don't have the Xbox Live account set up. feel like that demo might not be here either. Yeah, because I get a Borderlands 2. It does. It takes you. So yeah, that Horizon 2, they're advertising it here, but that thing is gone. So, okay. I mean, it just shows you the curation of the 360 store. Go figure right now is not great. Microsoft not really paying attention to it. So I think most people understand that. I mean, this is, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. I mean, this is basically the store here, right? Featured, arcade, on demand. And that's it. Then you have your gamer picks, your themes, that sort of thing mixed in. But this was again an early time for digital storefronts on consoles. The 360 started out with one that was very basic, where you would play these smaller arcade games, and eventually it evolved into having these big on-demand games. And yes, some strange stuff in the arcade section, as I mentioned. Like, you can go through here and just find some of the strangest stuff. You can literally pick any letter, and you'll find just some very random thing. Here's a game called Raw. It says it still works on the Xbox One. Never heard of it before. But there you go. So that was kind of our discovery process back then of smaller games. Of course, we still would have the internet and we could look up stuff there. But that was sort of it, and you would just have your system update. I think there were certain points of the week that it would update. I know with, like, the Wii, I think it was at whatever, it was like middle of the week, right, that it would update. 360 was kind of like that, too. Look, there's Rocket Knight. Look at that. It's still $15 for some reason. But this is, I mean, this is all going away here pretty soon. About a month or so, all this will be gone. That'll be shut down. And that'll kind of be it. So it is sad to see, because there are a lot of memories here. Although I will admit, the majority of my memories weren't with this dashboard here necessarily. It was with, like, the previous few dashboards. So maybe this hasn't felt as nostalgic because of that. But when you look at the arcade section in particular, I think it is an awesome thing to sort of revisit. And I think there's still some awesome games in here. And that's why at this point, I'll recommend people to seek out a modded 360. I mean, by the time some people are going to see this video, this whole storefront will be gone anyway, so you can't buy them at all either way. And a lot of this stuff has been preserved and backed up online. So that's one of the reasons that I pretty much recommend at this time looking up ways to either make a modded Xbox or even buy one. So there's just a lot of cool stuff at this time, a lot of creative stuff. But hey, let me know what you guys thought about this down below. I just thought I'd take some time, sort of look through really the storefront here, get it on video so you can look back on it maybe years and years from now. If someone asks what the last few days of the 360 store looked like, well, here you go. We just did a quick tour of it. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.